Everyone recognizes this symbol. The circular yin and yang with its interlocking black and white halves represents one of the most recognizable icons of Chinese philosophy. When you visit Chinese temples across Taiwan, you will encounter this ancient symbol carved into wooden beams, painted on ceremonial objects, and incorporated into different decorative motifs throughout sacred spaces. But here's what most visitors miss. These visible representations are merely the surface layer of a far more sophisticated philosophical system that governs every aspect of Chinese architectural design. I'm Neil Bassine, and today I want to show you the hidden principles of yin and yang philosophy that have shaped Chinese architecture for over 3,000 years, principles that continue to influence building design in modern Taiwan. The question we're exploring today is this: how do these philosophical principles operate invisibly in the most basic architectural decisions, from the number of structural columns to the orientation of the building's facade? Let's start with what everyone can see. Traditional Chinese temples showcase yin-yang symbols prominently in their decorative programs. At the Taipei Confucius Temple, yin-yang motifs are integrated into ceiling decorations. The Hsinchu Guandi Temple features the symbol prominently in its interior worship spaces. But research by scholar Skylar Kaman reveals something fascinating about these decorative techniques. Traditional Chinese artisans carefully maintain balance between raised and recessed elements in their carvings. Kaman discovered that designs in relief were called yang pattern, while incessed ones were yin pattern. Even the carving techniques themselves embody philosophical principles. These visible symbols serve a crucial function. They establish the philosophical context for understanding the sophisticated hidden principles that actually govern Chinese architectural design. So now that we've seen the obvious applications, let's explore the hidden ones. The first hidden principle is numerical harmony. Count the structural bays in this traditional temple facade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice something? It's always an odd number. Here's a Mazu temple interior. Again, 5 bays separate these elaborate dragon columns. This isn't coincidence. Archaeological evidence shows this numerical consciousness extends back over 3,000 years. At the ancient early Toast site, excavators found a main hall with 9 columns on the north and south, with 4 columns at each end, a deliberate combination of odd and even numbers. In Chinese philosophy, odd numbers represent yang energy, active, masculine, positive force. Even numbers represent yin, passive, feminine, receptive force. For important buildings, architects chose odd numbers to express yang energy. But here's what's remarkable. This principle continues in modern architecture. The Hualien martyr shrine, built in the late 20th century, maintains the same odd number bay organization. Even the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Complex follow these ancient numerical principles. Contemporary research confirms that these numerical beliefs endure because, as one study found, a society's broad cultural heritage leaves an imprint that endures despite modernization. This mathematical expression of philosophy demonstrates that yin-yang theory operates at the most fundamental level of architectural decision-making. The second hidden principle involves spatial orientation according to cardinal directions. Chinese architecture doesn't face south for practical reasons. It's expressing cosmic philosophy. Architectural research shows that Chinese builders have orientated their structures with cardinal directions since the Shang dynasty, over 3,000 years ago, aligning buildings with what they believed were cosmic forces. Now watch this dramatic demonstration. This is the south-facing entrance facade of the Shangdi Sihui Temple. Look at the elaborate decorations, the complex roofline, the rich colors. It's designed to impress and inspire. This is the north-facing rear facade of the exact same building. It's so different it could belong to a completely different structure. Minimal decoration, simple materials, utilitarian details. The contrast is stunning. The south facade expresses yang energy, bright, active, elaborate. The north facade expresses yin energy, quiet, simple, receptive. This principle continues in modern architecture. The National Suyat-san Memorial Hall features a dramatic swooping entrance canopy and grand ceremonial stairs on its south elevation, while the north facade, though still dignified, presents a much more restrained architectural character. The Hualien Martyrs Shrine, shown before, demonstrates perfect feng shui positioning, aligned along a clear north-south axis, with mountains behind and water in front, exactly as traditional geomantic principles prescribed. The systematic differentiation between facades reveals that Chinese architects viewed building orientation as a fundamental expression of cosmic order. The third hidden principle governs spatial organization through complementary opposites. Chinese architecture carefully balances open versus enclosed spaces, creating harmonious environments through contrast. The Taipei Confucius Temple demonstrates this perfectly. They move from public exterior spaces through semi-public courtyards into increasingly private and sacred interior halls. Each transition marks a change in spiritual significance. This temple shows how natural light penetrates through courtyards to illuminate interior spaces, creating dynamic relationships between yang, illuminated areas, and yin, shadowed areas. Traditional geomantic theory makes this explicit. On a rock hill, you must take an earthly site. Where it is confined, take an open place. Where it is open, take a confined place. Everything must balance with its opposites. Elevation changes provide another dimension. The Martyrs Shrine arranges elements at different levels. Ceremonial gates at the ground level, intermediate structures on platforms, and the main hall at the highest point. The sophisticated manipulation of light and shadow enhances the mystical character of religious spaces. Light becomes a design tool that expresses philosophical principles about the balance of opposing forces. The principle uses scale, elevation, and color to express hierarchy. Look at how these people are dwarfed by the memorial gate. This isn't accidental. It is deliberate expression of institutional power through architectural scale. The entire complex uses systematic scaling. The main memorial structure towers above surrounding buildings, while subsidiary structures maintain respectful proportional relationships to the central monument. Elevation literally places more important functions above less important ones. Visitors must climb these substantial stairs to reach the most sacred space. The physical effort enhances the spiritual significance. Color provides subtle but significant hierarchy. These golden roof tiles immediately communicate elevated status within Taiwan's memorial architecture. Gold associates the building with imperial traditions while expressing yang energy. Compare this to the orange tiles of traditional temples or the blue tiles of the Shanghai Shek Memorial. Each color choice reflects specific symbolic associations and hierarchical relationships. Even individual elements express hierarchy. These dragon columns demonstrate how elaborate carving and prominent positionings mark important structural and ceremonial moments within temple complexes. The systematic orchestration of scale, elevation, and color creates environments that feel significance because they embody philosophical principles about the proper ordering of society and its relationship to cosmic forces. The fifth and most subtle principle involves material and textural contrasts. As seen here, these stone dragon columns demonstrate sophisticated surface treatments that create rich textural variations through different carving techniques. Notice how areas of deep relief carving contrast with smoother surfaces, while color applications enhance the visual impact. This creates dynamic relationships between elaborately decorative yang surfaces with relatively plain yin surfaces. This temple roof demonstrates how contemporary craftsmen continue applying these principles through complex construction that integrates multiple materials and techniques. The interplay between glazed ceramic tiles, carved wooden brackets, and painted decorative elements creates textural richness. These surface treatments create relationships that change throughout the day as natural light conditions shift. Yang elements, protruding, light-catching surfaces, contrast with yin elements, recessive, shadow-holding elements. Archaeological evidence shows that this material consciousness has been central to Chinese architectural practice since antiquity, demonstrating that surface treatments reflect deeper philosophical principles rather than purely practical considerations. Even contemporary buildings maintain these fundamental principles of textural contrast, creating visual interest while expressing philosophical beliefs about the proper relationship between opposing forces in the built environment. These principles persist in contemporary architecture. Despite dramatic changes in construction technology and cultural context, modern memorial architecture maintains these fundamental philosophical relationships. The Shanghai Shek Memorial Complex demonstrates how contemporary architects successfully translate traditional principles into modern architectural language. Classical proportional relationships, spatial organizational patterns, and hierarchical expression techniques, all maintained while using reinforced concrete construction and contemporary building systems. The Suyat-san Memorial adapts traditional temple organization to modern institutional requirements while maintaining fundamental principles like directional differentiation and numerical harmony. Research confirms this cultural continuity, showing that traditional philosophical systems remain vital when they provide practical tools for creating meaningful environments that enhance human experience. The success of these modern adaptations suggests that yin-yang principles will continue informing Chinese architectural practice as contemporary architects seek buildings that honor cultural heritage while addressing contemporary needs. Interrelated applications of yin-yang philosophy in Chinese architecture: numerical harmony through odd-numbered base systems, spatial orientation through directional differentiation, spatial organization through complementary opposites, hierarchical expression through scale relationships, and material contrast through textual variation. Each principle operates independently while contributing to overall composition that embody philosophical beliefs about cosmic order and social organization. Understanding these hidden principles transform our perception of Chinese architecture from simple aesthetic appreciation to recognition of buildings as physical embodiments of comprehensive worldviews. The evidence demonstrates that yin-yang theory functions not merely as applied symbolism, but as a foundational design methodology that continues informing architectural practice across centuries of cultural and technological change. So, the next time you see this familiar symbol, remember, it is not just decoration. It is the visible key to understanding invisible principles that have shaped some of the world's most meaningful architecture for over 3,000 years. These principles remind us that architecture functions not merely as shelter or artistic expression, but as a medium for transmitting cultural knowledge and philosophical understanding across generations. Thank you.